Hello, and welcome back to Be Kind Rewinder. This is the first time somehow that all four of us have been on the podcast, which is really funny considering Rewinder doesn't really exist anymore. Welcome to Be Kind Rewinder. A lot has happened since the last time we chatted. Short version, the website's on a bit of a break. Henry is now out of games media. I'm dealing with some life stuff, and it wasn't fair to put an entire website on two people who already have day jobs.
And Stan Lee died.
Oh shit!
Marvel Comics' Stan Lee died.
Just so young, But yeah, we've decided that we want to keep the podcast going and we want to keep hanging out and talking with each other. So the podcast is now going to be a bit more of a informal thing. It's mainly just going to be us talking about the games that we've been playing once a month and what we're interested in, taking some questions from the people in our Discord who supported us at one time or another. And if there's any big topics that we really want to talk about, if there's any surprise news or the Switch 3 gets announced, I guess we can talk about that if we want to. But yeah, just to check in with everyone, how's everybody doing? Jason, you haven't been on this podcast before.
I haven't, because I do too many things and have children, which are at least some of the things that I have to deal with. At least some of them.
And on top of having children, you have to manage us.
Yes, well, just Henry.
Yeah.
And his incessant hatred of people with hair.
It's true. It's true. You should all suffer.
Mm-hmm. Henry, how are you doing? You obviously can't talk much about your new job, but you've made the shift away from games media. What's it been like stepping back from that scene?
It's been quite refreshing. I've got to be honest with you.
Oh, dude, you got out. You got out.
I got out, stayed in games, but honestly, it's been really good. The team has been fantastic. Some really cool projects we're working on, and honestly, it's just really. I feel like after 6 years of media, it was already time for something different. So it's quite nice to have that challenge again. Like go on something new, something different.
And Scott, have you moved into that house yet?
I was about to ask Henry before we get on to the best part of this podcast.
Sure.
How was it on your first day of the job when Meta decided to shut down every VR studio in existence?
Oh, yeah, that was...
For as much as you can discuss.
Yeah, I can't...
Yeah!
I can't say too much.
Let's leave it there. But yeah, it's been a time of change for everyone. Everyone's doing things, shaking and moving. And speaking of things that change, something that never changes.
Just brush by me. I didn't move in the house yet.
You didn't? Okay.
So I've not moved in. No.
Something that will never change is every time a Trails game comes out, Henry will spend 300 hours in it. So Henry, tell us why we should all get into Trails and sacrifice 2,000 hours of our lives to play through these games.
Because it is frankly the greatest saga in video game history. Yeah, I don't need to say any more. Just go and play it.
Have you played Postal?
I really thought you were going to say Metal Gear. I really thought Metal Gear was going to be the words out of your mouth there.
Have you played Postal? Fuck, what was that one that got announced and cancelled like 2 days later?
Oh,
shit.
Yeah.
Postal something Paradise.
Yeah.
Yeah, funnily enough, I've not played that one. I've not played any of that series.
Are you representing that game as part of your work? Postal
no, we are
AI
not.
No, I know who is. Anyway, Henry, tell me a little bit about Trails and what makes this latest one good or bad.
It makes it good because...
So what is the latest one?
Trails Beyond the Horizon is the latest one.
And this is the third in the what arc is it that they're in?
It's called the Calvert arc.
Yes, the Calvert arc. Yes. I played a fair bit of the first one of these in this arc, and I liked it.
Yeah, it's honestly, like the second one was very much a sideways step in terms of story, but this one you're finally starting to see like the end game of the series coming into play. Yeah, and you're starting to see like, go on.
Have they said how far they are through the grand story of Trails or Legend of Heroes, I suppose?
If I remember right, they said it was somewhere around 80 to 90%.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And does that
But
include
yeah,
the
so
Xanadu games and the Xanadu games?
those are separate series, just same developer,
And are these part of the Fabula Nova Crystallis?
if only. We can't all be perfect.
So yeah, this game, from what I can tell, it has that new combat system. Have they added anything else into it, or is this very much so just an iteration on the form?
Very much an iteration. Most of the changes are relatively minor in terms of combat, but it's roughly the same as before and what we saw in Trails in the Sky.
And they have a second game coming out this year, right?
Yes, the second, well, Trails in the Sky 2 remake.
Yeah,
the second chapter.
That's nuts. That's too many games. Yeah. That's too many.
I mean, it's like the way I see it, it's similar to how Sega keep putting out like Yakuza games because it's the same engine. They're reusing a lot of the different locations.
If I speak,
so it does say. Look, I can't say anything on I'd say potential a future game coming out soon, but you know what I mean, like using like the Hawaii setting repeatedly and things like that.
And so next up, I want to talk a little bit about tinkering. I have been tinkering with my RetroTink some more. This RetroTink was something that I bought with my family because we needed a good way to digitize old family video. And we wanted something that would like actually be good. And we didn't want to be half-assing it if we were going to go through all the work of capturing like tens of hours of footage. And so we invested in a RetroTink. I like split it between myself and my dad. And so I wound up recording like, I think there's almost 30 hours of footage now from different family videotapes, CDs, digital cameras, and we also found some memory cards, which were a lot easier to just put it on a modern computer. But we found a memory card. Guess how big the memory card was? A micro SD.
14 terabytes.
Close. 56 megabytes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. So we've been digitizing a lot of stuff, and now that project's over, I've finally had time to like actually use it to play retro games like it's intended to be used to do. And I realized that like for the last, I don't know, I've had it maybe 6 months. I had it sometime last year. I had been using composite cables because my PlayStation 2 came with composite cables. And so I only ever used composite cables on the PS2 because that's all I ever had. And then I realized, like, oh, I can just buy some component cables and run these into it. And holy shit, that image looks so nice now. What the fuck? It turns out that, like, actually having the proper cable makes these games look good. So do you want to know what game I have ordered off of eBay? Scott, you can take first guess.
Mr. Muskie.
Oh, so close. Actually, not a million miles off. It was Burnout Revenge.
I was betting on Dog's Life.
I was expecting Gotcha Force for the GameCube.
I already have
Panic.
a copy of Dog's Life in the house, and I have a second manual for it as well. Don't ask how I wound up with that.
So fancy.
Yeah, fancy Dog's Life manual.
For the rest of us.
Yeah.
With your spare manual.
Complete in-box Dog's Life. Look at all that dough that I had to get the complete in-box version. I went to price charting.
Rewinder.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah,
Lexi was embezzling.
Yeah. Spending it all on like 3DO games and Dog's Life. And so yeah, I want to hear you recommend it. I mainly just have the setup to play PS2 and PS1 games at the moment. And buying like a GameCube would kind of be a pain in the ass. So I'm curious, are there any straight up PS2 or PS1 games that you think that I should go out and pick up?
I ever told you about a little game called God Hand?
God Hand costs like €300 if you're to buy an actual copy of it now.
And then you send that copy to me afterwards.
Yeah.
Like after you played it. I don't know, a lot of the really good ones that I'd recommend are in that kind of same camp. Like there's some, like obviously
Rule of
Devil May
Rose
Cry
is like
3
that,
and
you know.
Metal Gear Solid 3 was going to be cheap. Silent Hill 2 is up in price. Ape Escape 3 is quite expensive. So there's like, you know, it's getting rougher out here for PS2. I'm sure you can get a copy of WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 for pretty cheap though, and that's a good ass PS2 game.
Did I tell you about the time that there was like a kind of thrift store in Cork, and I went in there, and they had a bunch of old PS1 games, and for whatever reason, they had 18 copies of Silent Bomber for the PS1, all factory sealed, just, you know, for whatever reason, but they had a copy of Ridge Racer 4. I was like, fuck yeah, I love Ridge Racer. I'm gonna pick this up. I really want a physical copy of Ridge Racer 4. So I picked it up for like €15 or something, and I brought it home, and I opened it, and inside was WWF Rage in the Cage or some shit for the PS1, and boy...
I thought you were going to say Silent Bomber, which would have made that story a lot funnier.
No.
Well, in terms of WWF games on the PS1, there's no such game as Rage in the Cage, because guess what? That's something I forgot to put on the list. I played literally every single fucking WWF game on the PS1 for some reason recently. I don't know
And they suck. They're really bad.
Some of them are okay.
The one I played was pretty rough.
Was it 3D or 2D?
It was 3D.
It was probably Warzone, which is the first wrestling
yes,
thing.
It was Warzone because it had a bunch of barbed wire on it and dumb shit.
The elevators menus. So
yeah,
that's the first wrestling
fucking
thing I
awful.
ever saw. That literally like the first wrestling thing I ever saw.
No wonder you wound up like you did.
But I used to like I used to like Cairn because he was red, because that's how my mind used to work back then. If it was like something red, I used to play
back then.
Yeah.
No, I'm all about the pink. I would go with my cousins and would play like FIFA, and I'd pick fucking Wales national team because it was red, you know, like that's the type of shit I was on. Yeah, Warzone is not good.
Scott renames himself to Gareth. That's the most Welsh name I can think of.
You're honestly not far off. There was like a time where I really wanted to be called Gary. I don't know why, but I used to go to like the after school care and would play Dave Mira's freestyle BMX. So when it came to like the name entry screen for your scores, I'd put Gar. Don't know why.
Scott law right now.
Yeah, that's where I also played Chocobo Racing for the PS1,
Scott,
the best Final Fantasy.
I just want to... You couldn't have waterboarded that information out of me.
I don't think it's that bad. When you're a kid, you know, you like weird shit. You know, it doesn't matter that I was like...
Yeah, but you don't talk about it.
5 years old, you know. No, but... So yeah, that... sorry to steal your thunder, but that's my segue. I've been playing a lot of old fucking wrestling games for some reason. Mainly because there's a new one coming out. And...
Man, even as a non-wrestling person who has absorbed information about wrestling over the years, doing an Attitude Era wrestling thing in 2026?
So you know what's weird? I don't think it is, and that's the odd bit. From what not what I've heard, this isn't something I've heard myself, but all signs seem to be pointing that it's going to be like a CM Punk themed story mode, which makes it
oh cool, another person that everyone loves right now.
It makes it even weirder that they're doing these like special editions. There's 4 editions. So first off, we've not seen a single bit of gameplay from that game yet, right?
Always a good sign when they do that with the wrestling games.
The Standard Edition, the King of Kings Edition, which is Triple H on the cover, because you know he runs the shit now. The Attitude Era Edition, which is just WWE guys from that era, and then the Monday Night Wars edition, which is
And how many of
Attitude Era, but
these
also
editions have someone who's abetting like war crimes on them?
I mean, Hulk Hogan's on the front of one of them. I know that for sure. He did.
I mean,
war
he's
crimes.
dead, so he
definitely racisted.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's very weird that there's 4 editions of it. Not only that there are 4 editions of this game, but also we still have not seen. Oh, I've got the pricing here. Sorry, I
When
didn't
does
realize.
this release?
Don't know yet.
Oh,
Pre-orders open tomorrow, apparently.
good sign.
But like the last few shows they've done, they've had like a ad that's like, "Hey, here's the." So normally $70, right? That's your standard 2K
Yeah.
game price. Attitude Era Edition, $99.99 US, or $100.
One Grand
which
Theft
is-
Auto 6, yeah.
Which is weird because you would think the Attitude Era Edition would be better than the just Triple H edition, but nope. Triple H putting himself over again. $130 for that edition.
Whatever you
And
say.
then the Monday Night War edition is $150 for a yearly sports game, which is nuts. But the weird thing is,
Hey, do you think their ratings are down? Just a guess.
it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't, because they've got so much money coming in from like Netflix deals and shit. They
Yeah.
don't give a fuck. People buy the tickets that are hilariously overpriced now since they merged with the UFC, like proper horrid shit. But oh, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, oh yeah, that was it. These games are at their best now. Like honestly, the last few years of these games have all been really, really good. But it's also the most like money grubbing shit imaginable.
And
half the
also,
time.
not exactly a great time to be a wrestling fan, let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. Not to turn this into a wrestling podcast,
Late.
but obviously WWE is very in bed with the current US administration, right?
They love whole milk. Yep.
Yeah, they love that shit. But then they've also got like the best women's division period, which is like rough because obviously, again, they're in bed with the current US administration.
And
they're
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they're probably going to bring back a certain someone eventually. A certain someone
totally.
who's still under investigation over certain things that let's not get into. But then at the same time, the other wrestling show is full of like backyarders a lot of the time. Like there's a lot of people on AEW who they will bleed and do the most stupid shit just on a weekly free TV show, And it's like, what do people who have like families watch now? Like they're pricing out people on the WWE side, but kids cannot watch like someone like the last AEW.
I mean, like to be super cynical for a second, it is the K-shaped economy thing. It's like, and it's it also affects sport. But yeah, that game seems shitty, and I hope it's bad.
Again, they're good games. That's the problem. They're so good now, and then it's just brought down every single year because they find a new way to be like money grubbing as fuck. Like last year, they introduced the Island, which is a
questionable name
side mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
with the year that was in it. Speaking of uplifting things, Jason, take us literally anywhere away from the topic of wrestling.
Oh, you should buy Def Jam Fight for New York. I think that's PS2.
That game does rule. I've watched people play that game. That game has Busta Rhymes.
Also,
it is Sticky Fingers.
Vendetta, which is also good. Vendetta is like an actual wrestling game, and then Fight for New York is just like, oh fuck it, do whatever.
It's an actual good game. Yeah.
Both are really good. Vendetta is a good ass game. And
who made those? I wonder. Were they Ukes as well? Aki.
No,
okay,
Aki who did they did the N64
good games.
ones.
Yeah, the games people like. Jason, what have you been playing recently?
Something I can't legally talk about. And Last Epoch. I've jumped back into Last Epoch, which is an action RPG.
Is that the Spiders one?
No.
Or the Spiders had a Souls-like that was...
That's Greed. Greedfall?
No, Greedfall
No.
is their action RPG.
Spiders. Did they do? Was that the French one they did? Anyway, Last
Yes,
Epoch
yeah.
is like a Diablo game,
Okay.
basically. But the skill system allows you to respec a lot, and it scratches my ADHD brain very nicely.
Weird. If you type spiders into Google, you don't get results for the game developer first. Weird.
That makes sense. The animal is slightly more
Yeah.
popular, I would think. I've also been playing more Dungeons and Dragons. I'm coming up on the beginning of a new campaign, so I'm in the insane planning stage of that, which is always fun. And Genshin Impact, and the new story's been fun. So
I was thinking of Steel Rising. That feels like a game.
Steel Rising.
Yeah. Did you have to review that? That feels like a game you would have had to review.
I think I did some work on it.
Yeah. That totally feels
I
like.
can't remember what.
What was that awful Souls-like that you reviewed?
Lords of the Fallen.
That one too. There was a really, really bad one that was like basically unplayable. I remember over the pandemic.
Dolmen?
Dolmen, that was it. Yeah, that one.
That was
I've
awful.
rarely seen you like, to give you some behind the scenes context, Jason doesn't like come into Discord servers and start talking about games like he's reviewing that often. Like, that's just not kind of, you don't like, hey, I'm playing this game, here's what I think before my review goes out. You were shit talking Dolmen in a way I had rarely seen you
so
before.
angry.
It was so very funny.
Lex.
I think I remember
that game
this
was
now.
Yeah.
Viscerally angry. I think it's one of my worst review scores, and I reviewed Fallout 76 on release.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
Awful.
A relatively new game that I've been playing and I actually really like and I want to talk a little bit about because the review embargo was today as a recording, and my review just went up, is Cairn. 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 How do you pronounce that word? Anyone know?
Is it not Cairn?
Yeah, I think it's Cairn. But this is a climbing game from the Game Bakers, who you might know from Fury, or Haven, I want to say was their other one. And I think this game is fantastic. I loved playing through this game. It is a very interesting thing to take in combination with Baby Steps at the end of last year. Because in some ways it's both thematically similar and mechanically similar, because it's a game about making the act of moving unbelievably deliberate. It's a game where you climb, and when you climb, you press square or X, whatever controller you're on, to move your right hand, and then you press it again to place it on like a handhold. Then you press square again, or then you start moving your left hand, and you press square again to place that, and then you do your left leg, and then your right leg.
That's what you're telling
Almost, me. Yeah, but you only use one stick to control all your appendages. And then over the course of about like 15 hours-ish, you just climb a mountain, and it's hard as shit. It's really tough. And you'll like fall a bunch and you'll probably die. Like, it's one of those games where my save file says I've played 16 hours, my Steam time says I've played like 24 hours, because I was just reloading so much and I was dying so much. But it has a shockingly thoughtful story in it about like what drives someone to need to have to do something like that, to need to have to scale a mountain that no one else has scaled before. And it's a really interesting look at like obsession, and with the way that being driven can make people cruel and kind of assholes. It's up there with like Firewatch for games that I left being like, oh man, I suck. The person I'm playing as is a fucking asshole. And it's really interesting. If you have the ability to check it out, it's on Steam, it's on PlayStation 5 as well, I think. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox. It's really, really good. It was a very interesting game to play coming off of the back of big hops, which makes movement so effortlessly easy, and like so joyous. The act of moving in this game is like a struggle, and it's like a fight, and it's a very it was a very interesting 1-2 punch to go from Big Hops to this. Big Hops I also love, but like I didn't review. But yeah, it's been a good start to the year. It's been a surprisingly solid January. And February is already super busy with other stuff. I am also curious to hear a little bit about a game that I have set up to play. I installed a shitload of mods to play it. Scott, you've been playing Fallout New Vegas for the first time.
I played Fallout New Vegas for the second time.
Oh,
actually.
had
The
you played
first
it
time-
before?
Yeah, I beat it, but I also like modded the shit out of it, and also like at some point got annoyed and just fucking like console commanded myself because I didn't want to walk across the wasteland. Me and Laura watched the show, the first season of the show, and I was like, you know what? I've always liked Fallout conceptually. I think the vibe is really cool, and I think the world is really cool, but I just have never liked a Bethesda kind of RPG. So after the show, I started playing a bit of Fallout 4 on the PS5, tinkering with it a bit. And then I was playing some of Fallout 1, which I think is really cool. Like I never played them before, and you hear about how they're so, I don't know what's the word, unapproachable.
Yeah.
but
There is definitely a kind of like, oh, it's on a timer. You know, people
Yeah,
are like,
no,
it's so
they're-
hard. It's on a timer.
they're just CRPGs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really say they're that.
From what I can
unapproachable.
tell, there is a bit of like, hey, just so you know, if you're playing this at 4K, it can kind of fuck up some of the aspects. So there's like fan mods to fix the camera, essentially, if you're playing at higher resolutions on a modern machine.
It's not. But I mean, there is stuff where there's like a lot more. Like, see if you don't put points into agility at the start of the game, you are fucked because you have action points, and say it costs 5 to shoot a gun. If you moved your agility to only have 4, you're never shooting that gun. You know, so there is a lot of friction in it, but I wouldn't even say it's as punishing as everyone makes it out to be. And then yeah, I did the same thing and downloaded all those New Vegas mods just to try out. And then I don't know why, but this was the time like it just really fucking captured me. I played all of it. I played all the DLCs, probably within the space of 2.5 weeks. And yeah, I get it now. It is very obviously better than Fallout 4, which when playing Fallout 4, not that I think it's a bad game, because I'm not like a big purist when it comes to role playing or anything. Like I think I don't really care about the voiced protagonist or anything like that, but
It really is so streamlined, is the thing with Fallout 4 for me.
It's not even. I wouldn't even say it's that. It's just like when you go to a place in Fallout 4, obviously because it's built around this like settlement building mechanic. You go to a lot of places in Fallout 4 that are just fucking barren. Like it's
Yeah.
just boring. Whereas every single waypoint in New Vegas feels interesting. There's something there, you know. And like all the
Which is
facts and
funny
stuff
considering it's meant to be set in a barren desert, and
Yeah.
Fallout 4 is meant to be set in a part of America that like wasn't hit as much. Like it's
Yeah.
meant to have quite a lot of its infrastructure still there.
It's yeah, I don't know. I think all the faction stuff is really interesting, and I do like that you can just fuck up in that game a lot. But yeah, I don't know how I've gone. However many years? When did Fallout 3 come out? Like 2008.
2008, yeah.
That almost 20 years, never liking one of these, and somehow this time it really clicked. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while now, like because I played it over kind of the Christmas break and finished it probably about 3 weeks ago.
That is
But-
an ideal Christmas break game. That's an
Yeah,
ideal, I don't have any, work responsibilities or games I have to be playing to get done for review or something. I'm just going to sink 70 hours into this big fucking RPG.
It's but yeah, I mean I get it. That world is very well realized. It's like, especially once having played. I didn't finish Fallout 1, but I played a lot of it, and like having played that, I kind of grow a deeper appreciation in many ways of what New Vegas is trying to do. There is a lot of like, because that game's a lot more attached to those first two games than Fallout 3 and 4 are. They have like the kind of factions that are like the first place you go to in Fallout 1 ends up being the home of the new California Republic and all that, you know. So there is a lot of kind of world building stuff that wasn't lost on me this time. But I tend to get to a point in
I've been
RPGs
watching
where
that show, and I do think they do a really good job with maintaining the world building that they've like. It does seem like Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy, who are the showrunners, do really like that world and kind of like the stories that have been told in it. Because I think there was a sentiment, especially around the start of season 2, of people being like, oh, they're writing like their own fan fiction and they're making Cooper Howard to be like the best character ever, and he's actually way better than any of the protagonists. But they do seem to be kind of out there being like, no, this guy was pretty important, but like the other protagonists have played their roles in shaping this wasteland and this world, which I think is interesting.
It's very I saw someone I haven't watched season 2 yet. I'm waiting until it's all out, but people kind of put it like these characters kind of represent, you know, like all the different factions and shit. Like Lucy is very obviously the protagonist from Fallout 3, you know. Whereas, you know, Cooper Howard kind of plays
the courier, the wanderer
Lucy,
kind of
quite,
vibe.
Yeah, he's quite similar to the courier.
Yeah.
I will say those DLCs are very interesting. Not inherently interesting good, but interesting in the sense that, like, so the first one, Dead Money, I think is so amazing. Like, the vibe is unmatched. The storytelling in it is really fucking good. And then you play it, and it's the worst part of the game. It is a fucking slog to play.
I remember back when I played that on the PS3 being a real pain in the ass because the load times were so bad, and I died so much in that.
Oh, no, just the fart gas and the stupid enemies. It's just a stupid, terrible one to play.
Like it's a good idea in theory of let's have a more survival based thing where it is like harder to keep your character alive, but then in practice you start playing and you're like, oh, this combat isn't flexible enough for like the survival demands that you're putting on me.
But I do think it's interesting how in such a free game that's these 4 kind of linear segments. Old World Blues isn't very linear. That's kind of like a big open playground, and I think I ended up loving that one the most just because it had a really good vibe to it. But then the last one is literally just a straight line dungeon, with a kind of stupid ending, to be honest. But I think those are all very interesting. Because I never played them last time, I think those are all very interesting from like a perspective of how they just kind of, obviously everyone knows how this game went, like it was done in like 16 months or something like that, but it's interesting how much they managed to cram in there and how much they managed to like do unique shit with that DLC. But since then I've been playing one game. I've played let's get the timer up, 67 hours of it. I can't talk about it, but I mean, I have mentioned what it is on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
But next time we are...
I'm very curious to hear more about that game. I'll say that much.
Next time we are on... I will probably be able to talk. I mean, I will say as much as I am not reviewing it, but I have played 67 hours of it.
Yeah, so that kind of, you know, yeah.
I will have a lot to talk about that game, which... Yeah.
The final game that we have down here is one that I've been chipping away at, kind of in my downtime between Cairn and what I am reviewing right now. I'm now reviewing 2 games at once that come out a day apart, so that's fun. But I started...
sorry to interrupt, but every fucking game in February is out that 1 week.
Yeah.
And it's annoying.
They're all out February 11th. They're all out February 11th or 10th.
Romeo's the Dead Man's out. High on Life 2 is out. Fucking Eugenics is out. Yakuza's
Dragon
out.
Age.
Dragon Age. Wait, Dragon Age? Dragon Quest?
Wait, Dragon Quest, sorry.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what?
Yeah. But big turnaround for BioWare. But yeah, I've been playing Final Fantasy Rebirth for the first time. So as a bit of context, I have never beaten the original 7. I beat Remake, which I played mainly on a Steam Deck. And now I'm playing Rebirth on my pretty new PC. and it's I really like the characters of Final Fantasy VII. I think the story of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake is fucking stupid. And I am well aware of the, like, big plot twist. I think that's stupid. I think it's lame. Like, I get
I'm of
it.
two minds about it. I think it's cool conceptually to do something like that, but at the same time, it borders too much into like Kingdom Hearts shit that I'm just kind of like. After I finished that first remake, I was kind of like, okay, like I wasn't really that bothered about playing the next one. I still haven't played it.
It's
I probably
weird-
should get to it, but
It's weird, like, my big problem with the Kingdom Hearts games is always, like, there's no Final Fantasy representation in this crossover. Like, there's so little of those characters compared to the amount that they focus on the Disney characters. So now Final Fantasy VII, the remake trilogy, almost feels like them doing a Kingdom Hearts, but just for Final Fantasy. And it's like, oh man, you took, like, the wrong lesson here. I don't
It says
know.
a lot that you can beat the original game quicker than just the remake part 1.
Yeah,
The bloat of the new ones is
Oh, it's terrible.
preposterous. I really couldn't get it. I've been umming and ahhing about buying both of them, even though I played the first the remake and didn't get on with it, just because I was like, maybe I was wrong. But every time I listened to anyone else talk about it, it was like, no, I was right.
I will say, like, remake is so linear because that Midgard section is so linear that it doesn't really feel like much of a Final Fantasy RPG in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Whereas Rebirth does kind of, it lets you loose in a relatively open space, and it's like, here's some side quests to do, here's some adventuring to do, here's some minigames, and it does feel much more like, oh, I can decide what I want to do when I want to do it, which is nice, but there's so much of that stuff, and it doesn't feel like, though, other than Queen's Blood, which I think they knew was really, really good, it doesn't feel like they were like, okay, we know this minigame's a winner, so we're going to focus on that. Instead, they just throw every minigame at you full force, and you have to, like, take them all. And it's like, I don't know which one of these is worth putting time into, and some of them are bad, and yeah, it is just too big and too long.
I really enjoyed Queen's Blood. I did the whole arc for that, but I got to a certain point when I just stopped doing the side quests. I was like, I cannot be bothered with this.
I bet this game will go the exact same way that it seems to have gone for everyone that I've talked to about it, which is, I did everything in the first area, and then you get to the next area and you're like, oh no, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
When I played Remake, I was like, oh, this is just Yakuza. But I think one of the other things with Rebirth, I don't know if we all played Remake, but the most likable characters in that game all either died or they're still in Midgar. So I'm just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, the side characters in Remake are like all of the Avalanche people, and they just don't show up.
Yeah,
which is
they were my favorite part of that last game. I mean, them and Barrett, and Tifa.
I will say the like characterization of Aerith in this game is really good. Like the whole, I think I posted on Blue Sky, but Barrett being like, anyone who believes these news corporations is a dumbass, and she's like, am I a dumbass? Just a really good moment.
I think these are, I think I've said this before, but these are the best versions of these characters to me, but it's just the sheer bloat of the game. Or games.
So yeah, it's okay. I will keep on chipping away at it. It will serve its purpose, which is for something that I can go back to between reviews and not worry too much about. And in some ways, I kind of am glad that I have a mini-map game to, like, do that with when I'm not reviewing something, that I can just turn my mind off and be like, I'm gonna fucking race some chocobos or some shit. But yeah, it's been good. We're gonna call it there for now. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna be right back. And we're back. So we're gonna take some questions from our Discord members. Hopefully we'll have more questions next time. We kind of sprung this on them last moment, so they were pretty good to even get in and give us a few. But yeah, Scott, can you give us one of those questions from our Discord?
Yeah, the hottest person in Discord asks, why is Ace Combat 8 going to be Game of the Year?
Really leading with the showstopper there.
Damn right.
It's not. That was a good question, though.
Yeah, good question.
All right, Mr. Digimon Storytime Stranger was Game of the Year, right? I vouched for you.
It was
I vouched
last
for
year.
your smelly Pokemon game, right? Don't.
The Pokemon is the smelly Pokemon game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Pokemon fans probably smell way worse than Digimon fans, if we're gonna be like,
Well, you don't know because you've never seen a Digimon fan out of the house.
you're
Out of
right,
the
Jason, I've never
house.
met you outside of you've never...
I have met Jason out of the house. I
Yeah.
can vouch that
When I was
Jason
kicking
is
his
real.
ass because I was his personal trainer.
You're
And
a
I was
fucking-
beating his ass at Smash Brothers because he was bad at games.
You're a
Nothing has
Ace Combat
changed.
8, I will
You're
say,
a
I'm
Trails
looking
player.
forward
You
to
wouldn't have
it.
noticed it over your own stink.
How dare you? How dare you? Get out.
I smell lovely. Thank
But
you.
no, I did start playing Ace Combat 7. I think I discussed this on one of the previous podcasts. I didn't
Hell yeah.
finish it, just things came up, but I was hooked.
That
What?
I've seen the PNG of the dog. That's a good PNG.
Ace Combat 7 is PlayStation Plus this month. You should really play Ace Combat 7.
I should pick it up.
It's like Armored Core, but for people. I don't know. I was gonna say for people who aren't weebs, but it's pretty weeby.
Yeah, I was gonna
Armored
say
Core,
you're not.
But it's also
That's like
Metal
being
Gear
like
Solid.
Metal Gear is an anime. Like fuck you, no.
I mean, it's not anime. but
Metal
that's
Gear is the
point.
most anime. Shut the fuck up.
Anime coded.
There's wrestling, to be fair.
Yeah,
No, wrestling is fighting games. Or fighting
which
games
is
are
also
anime.
anime.
Yeah.
Scott, here's the trick. Everything's anime.
It's all anime now.
What
This
fucking
too is
terrible world
Yuri.
we live in.
But yeah, that game does look good. I'm curious to see what their like bigger, more expanded story mode looks like, because that was the big highlight of that Game Awards trailer. So I'm curious just how hard they go on that. I hope there's still PNGs of characters in there. I hope there's still just like, hey, here's a cutout of a character standing on the middle of an aircraft carrier. But yeah. Is there any game that other people on this call... Because that question, peek behind the curtain, that question was from Skosh. Are there any games that people on this call are really looking forward to?
I mean,
in particular?
when I think of looking at the list of 2026 games, I'm like, what are my potential like favorites going to be? Ace Combat's on there, obviously. Pragmata.
The question was from you. You started the topic.
But I didn't. Ace
Let
Combat
someone
7.
talk.
Ace,
No, let him
Fucking-
talk. Let him talk.
Ace Combat 8 wasn't even. That was just me wanting to talk about Ace Combat 8, to be honest. I don't know that
Yeah,
that'd be my
fair.
favorite. Pragmata's on there. Onimusha's on there. Basically, all the Capcom shit's on there.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Pragmata does sound
literally
good.
the three front runners
Um,
for stuff that I'm interested in this
some-
year are the
one-
Capcom ones.
Yeah. One game that I'm not going to mention for obvious reasons is definitely going to be on there. But in terms of the stuff I'm excited to play Romeo. I'm excited to play GTA 6, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, Romeo's a Dead Man I'm really looking forward to. I've liked everything I've seen of that and everything I've heard coming out of that team. They've kind of said and done all the right things up until this point. Henry, is there anything you're looking forward to?
I'm trying to just remind myself what's actually coming out because I
Oh,
could name
Forza Horizon
games, and
6
I'm
as well. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
that will be
yeah.
good. I probably won't play it, but I'm sure that will be good. Come on, Jason, if you're so fucking desperate, well, you should have
Oh,
a
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
list ready.
desperate. I don't look forward to games. Games are all bad. We all know this.
You're right.
Yeah,
Which game will be the least bad, though, is the question.
One I can't talk about at the moment.
Oh, great.
Because yeah, I'm working on it. Not working on it.
It's Lords of the Fallen 2. I've just broke down.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Visceral reaction.
I
Henry
like
is...
games, not that bad.
Yeah. Henry, is there anything that's catching your eye?
I mean, I want to say I don't know if it will end up coming out this year, but I'm keen to see that new Professor Layton game. Was it A New
The
World of
state
Steam?
of level 5 though, like
I know. That's why I'm like, I'd say that, but I'm also like, is it?
like
Is it
you know how I
actually
just said like, oh, grasshopper manufacturer is saying all the right things going into
They're saying all
Romeo's
the
the Dead
right
Man.
things.
Literally every single bad thing you could be saying for me to be like, I don't fucking want to touch any of your games
Yeah.
ever again. You all
Yeah,
seem like
like-
fucking dumbasses.
It's a fair point. It's a fair
mean,
point. I've got
they
that
just closed
nostalgia for that
down
series.
level 5, whatever it used to be, Concept, but whatever it is now, they've just shut them down, which is
Oh, yeah.
odd because Concept made universally terrible games for like 15 years, and then they made Fantasy Life, which everyone loved, and now they're gone.
Yeah.
Very
Okay,
weird.
To be fair, Concept
say-
wasn't really a developer. It was a studio that did a lot of ideation and stuff like that. So they've probably just gone, we don't need them for this anymore.
I will say 2 games that do come to mind because I completely blanked out one of them. The new Fire Emblem, because of course,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
and Saros.
Yeah, so that's like,
Jesus.
is that March? Or is that April?
March
I think-
25th, I want to say.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fire Emblem, actually, I've just remembered Rhythm Heaven Groove is going to.
Yeah, that's still dated for this year.
Oh, true,
They
yeah.
need to.
Forgot about that.
Did so the Tamagotchi. No,
That's April.
not
I'll take it, yes.
Tamagotchi.
Tomodachi.
Tomodachi. Sorry, my bad. That game had its direct today. And did you see that they announced that like, oh yeah, that's just a Switch 1 version. We're not doing a Switch 2 version.
Yeah,
Like
I
it's
mean,
just
they've
backwards
got-
compatible.
They have got a few like Rhythm Heaven's going to be like that. They've got a few kind
Yeah.
of games like that where they've been doing. I can't find what dates ours is coming out. Sorry, I'm looking for the list at the same time. Yeah, they've got a few games coming like that. I think we're just going to see a lot of that. I think we're going to see maybe similarly to like the last years of the 3DS where it's just kind of ports. Like we're going to see people's I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but like last year when they did the Switch 2 reveal, they did like updated games for Switch that worked better on Switch 2
Yeah.
or whatever, and it had Yoshi's Woolly World, which still hasn't shown up, and obviously they're doing a Yoshi game this year, so I don't know if they would.
Yeah.
But then again, they did re-release Pikmin for Pikmin 4.
It does seem
so I
like if you have your ear to the ground on Nintendo stuff, it seems like every Thursday night pretty much, they are announcing either like something coming to Nintendo Music, something coming to NSO, or a game getting an update. And it seems like they've carved out that
Yeah.
Thursday night as their like
I think-
news spot.
We'll see a lot of that where there's going to like all the big franchises like Pokemon's after ZA. I feel like Pokemon's for Switch 2, Zelda's gonna be for Switch 2, Mario's gonna be for Switch 2. But I think this is the time where they get a bit more like they bring back some of those weirder ones like Tomodachi and Rhythm Heaven, but they're Switch 1 games.
To be honest, I think it's smart going for Switch
Yeah.
1. Like you can have a Switch 2 like upgraded version, but really for a game like that, what's that really going to add other than maybe a slightly better resolution?
I'm curious, asking all three now. 40th anniversary of both Mario and Zelda. What do you think? Other than like the Mario Galaxy movie, what do you think we get game wise?
I would be shocked if they announced 3D Mario, but I also wouldn't, if that makes sense. Like, it seems too soon after Donkey Kong Bonanza, but also knowing that Nintendo sits on stuff for ages a lot of the time, and the Switch 2 got delayed
A lot.
pretty heavily.
Yeah.
Keep in mind how many studios are working with Nintendo or under
Yeah.
Nintendo. Like they're putting
Well,
a game out every month normally, if not 2.
It's yeah, Nintendo. They've done some weird purchases lately as well. Like I'm pretty sure they just bought
They bought that CGI house.
yeah, they bought Shiver, who then went on. I'm pretty sure the first game they released under Nintendo was WWE 2K25. I
Great.
want to say they put money into Forever Entertainment, who did like the House of the
Oh,
Dead and
Christ.
Panzer Dragoon remakes, because they did.
Just to take a moment, who the fuck is giving Forever Entertainment money? every single one of those
Nintendo,
remakes
'cause they did-
is fucking dreadful. They're all
They did,
awful.
They did Donkey Kong, not Tropical Freeze, Returns. That was Forever
Yeah,
Entertainment.
HD port. Yeah.
But they've also said, like, because a lot of I've gotten really into financials at my new job, let's say, and they straight up said, like, we are going to invest in studios, and
I mean, like, having the money in
things
the
like
bank
that
serves them no
to
good,
ramp
so
up.
it makes sense that they
yeah,
would.
they want to ramp up production on games because games now take longer. Zelda, I think we get an announcement. I don't think we probably get like a remake or like a port.
If they were to remake a Zelda game, do you think they do? What do you think they do?
I don't think they do Ocarina. I think they do
they-
Link to the Past.
Link to the Past?
They did
Like-
Link to the Past already, though, didn't they?
No, they did Link's
There's a
Awakening.
Link's Awakening. Do you think they do a Link to the Past in the style of the Grezzo game?
Well, no, because Grezzo's just done
Yeah, the
whatever that was
Zelda
called.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't
Echoes.
know.
No
Yeah,
one wants
like-
a Majora's Mask. No.
Ocarina or Majora's
For
Mask,
me.
maybe.
Speak your truth, Jason.
Because I wonder what the plan is for Twilight Princess. Because obviously they've pretty much said, like, no, we're not putting that Wind Waker port out because they've just put it on the GameCube, which maybe they still will.
You
I don't
say
know.
that, but there was that recent leak out of like Walmart or something that apparently Pikmin 2 is coming to NSO, and Pikmin
Yeah.
2 already has a native Switch version. So
I suppose that could be the type of thing I'm talking about, where we'll do like ports and stuff. Like maybe they do bring Wind Waker because that's not on Switch One. You can't play those GameCube games on Switch One. So maybe, but
yeah, they're a weird fucking
if they
company.
were going
They're
to do a
impossible
new
to predict.
remake, if they were going to do a new remake, it would be Ocarina, I think, because you've kind of run through them now. You know, you did Majora, you did Wind Waker, Twilight. Was there another 3D one?
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
I think it's time for.
It was
Zelda
funny that
Survivors
Skyward
with
Sword was the
Funko
first one they
Chest.
remade. Like Skyward Sword was. They were like, yeah,
No,
this
that
is the
was the
one
last
people
one.
It
really
was
want.
not
It was a
good.
choice.
Yeah.
Because it was Ocarina on the 3DS, then Wind Waker on Wii U.
I mean, for the
Majora.
Switch. I mean, like that was the
Oh,
first.
yeah.
That was the first
Um,
remake of a Zelda game on the Switch, and it was like,
I mean, that
this is the one everyone wants to play, right?
That was a good
The
version.
people demand it.
It was a good
really liked-
version of a bad game.
I don't think Skyward Sword is that bad. Everyone, I mean, I played it on the Switch, so I got all the upgrades and shit like that. Playing that game after hearing about it for like, I think a literal decade by the time that new version came out, there's nothing really that wrong with it. It's a bit annoying, like it's a bit hand-holdy, but it's just
I'd
a
say
solid
this.
Zelda.
I tried playing with the Pro controller but it's just the way you controlled sword in that game with that is horrendous.
Again, that didn't bother me that much. I don't know.
Is there any Mario thing that you'd like then? Like, do you think they'd remake a Mario game? Is that even a thing that you could remake and people?
I don't see them doing it. I see
They,
them.
they,
I mean-
they like repackaging them, don't they?
Yeah.
Just re-releasing them
Yeah.
and then
I mean,
selling them
they
for
remade.
preposterous amounts.
I'm trying to think the last remake they would have done, which probably would have been 64 DS, right?
Last remake was the Wii games, the new Super Mario Bros. Wii games that they
Banger,
bought.
to be fair.
They did the one that
it
was Luigi, new
3D
Super Mario
Mario.
Bros.
That
U.
was a rematch. Like that was a
Yeah, yeah.
remaster, repackage. I mean, like
Okay.
a proper remake.
Oh,
I
proper
think.
remake, yeah.
64 DS was the last one, and obviously they had
Yeah.
the Super Mario
All
Advance stuff
Stars.
as well, but
Yeah.
they haven't.
Not dance, true.
The only one I can
God,
maybe...
if they remade Sunshine, I would walk into the sea.
Sunshine Hate is the dumbest take at all times. Sunshine is a good game the same way that, you know, Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
Wrestling
some
is
people
also
would say
good.
it's 8.0. It's a great game. Some people would say it's an 8.0.
I will
Yeah,
just put
probably.
this out there. There
I'd
was
say
a
it was 6,
rumor that
He's done it! He's done it!
My
There
daughter's
was
obsessed.
the rumor that they'd put all the new Super Mario Bros. Games into a collection. I
Yes.
don't know. That's
I don't think you do that because then it becomes immediately apparent how all those games are so
So
fucking similar.
similar.
Yeah.
Speaking of, just as a quick aside, I started doing the 6-7 thing to my niece and nephew. Now they fucking hate it. It's great. That's how you
Great.
stop it.
Ruin it for them.
That's
Yeah.
how you stop it. I mean, you've got Mario Tennis coming. You've got Meet Up in Bella Bell Park, which is also a reason I don't think you do a new Super Mario Bros. Collection because Mario Wonder is
That
fucking
Bella Bell
brilliant.
Park seems
Yeah.
weird. It's like, hey, do you want to do some competitive 2D platforming? That's
Yeah,
always fun in
it's-
Mario.
It's certainly a choice, but I suppose. Oh no, Saros is the end of April. Did it get delayed?
Yeah, I thought it got delayed. Yeah,
Oh, that's a shame.
I thought it was April.
Sorry.
The Tomodachi Life is a great segue point if you want to
Yeah,
What the fuck?
just say.
we do have a
Is it just
Tomodachi
Jason?
Live question.
Is it just Jason that's out of sync? Did anyone else have Jason out of sync?
Jason was out of sync for me as well for a moment, but has now come back to reality.
Alright,
It's
okay.
because I'm not real.
Oh yeah, no, he's still behind.
Sorry.
That's fine.
007 First Light. That was the other one I was thinking of. I was trying to remember what the game I was forgetting was. That was good. And Crimson Desert will either be a 10 out of 10 or it'll be a fucking 4 out of 10. I don't know what. I will either love it or
I
I
can
think it
put
is terrible.
money on which one of those will be right now.
Yeah, but you have shit taste, so maybe you won't like it. But like, it's sometimes I look at it and I'm like, is this a Dragon's Dogma? And I'm like,
No.
maybe.
Next question.
I don't have the list. Tomodachi Life. Thoughts on Tomodachi Life's LGBT integration and how Nintendo's kind of undercut the goodwill by restricting image sharing. I don't really think those are attached, to be honest.
They're attached in the general sense of like how
Yeah,
people
of, like,
feel towards the game in general.
It's a good thing to Tomodachi Life, but not a good thing as well. I mean, the LGBT. I'm glad they remembered.
Yeah.
They said this whenever that last one came out. Like, we will do this for the next one, and I'm glad they remembered.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to do it. I like that you can pick for each of your Miis. Like, I like that it's not just in like some games where like Fire Emblem always restricts it to like, okay, who's the fucking absolute worst party member? That's the gay one. But I like that you can kind of choose what their interests are, because instead of it just being like everyone smashes everyone, I think that's a like deeper integration than I thought it would be. Like, I thought they would just do like they're all non-binary now, or they're all
I'm waiting for a shoe to drop in a very Nintendo-like fashion. I'm waiting for there to be some follow-up news story of like, yeah, they're all racist this time. And it's like, oh god, Nintendo.
They're only as racist as you make them. That's a text-to-speech game.
You're right. I've seen clips of that game before.
That clown in the direct has allegations. That's all I'm saying.
So
Yeah.
what I realized, because everyone in the team was watching the American stream and I was watching the British one, they were different streams for each region. They got a clown called like Hugh Morris, and I got a clown called like Bubbles.
Hugh
And there was,
Morris
like,
is a
different
way
characters.
funnier name for a clown. Let's be real.
Like, they
That's some
they
good fucking
remade
localization.
They remade the direct based on region. It's quite cool.
Mm.
The image sharing stuff I think is fucking weird, mainly because they also didn't show the concert hall. And I just think, obviously, it led to some not safe for work stuff and like some very rude songs going online. But that was viral as fuck. That's probably the reason Tomodachi Life sold so well in the first place, and that's probably the reason that game is really hard to get still.
I mean,
And I don't understand why a company wouldn't. Obviously, I don't know if it's in, and they've just not shown it. But this with the image sharing thing, I'm like, had they taken this out because they think it's like rude?
All right.
Because that was such a viral moment that I wouldn't do that if I were a company. But I don't know.
I will just ask, because I was looking at articles on this just to see exactly what was said. But then I also noticed the point of via machine translation. So I want to see.
yeah.
I would like to see an actual translator on that first before.
So yeah, for those who don't know, it does seem like to some degree, if you press the screenshot button or the record button in certain areas in that game, you will not be able to record the capture in a very Atlas with Persona 5 at launch like fashion. Of you were just straight up not able to do console capture, which is obviously a big thing for shareability, because Nintendo have their app where you can just upload that stuff straight to your phone, and then from your phone you can put it on social media or whatever. And I mean, I think a lot of it is down to, like, they were really scarred by the Miiverse. Like, they weren't prepared for the moderation that thing required. And if you logged into Miiverse in, like, the later days, like, whoo boy, you were gonna see some stuff. You were gonna see some naked anime men, a naked Goku, some naked
What's
anime
your,
women, and a lot of slurs. The one thing they got really good at was, like, hey, if you've drawn a dick and balls, we have software that can detect a dick and balls. But if you've put a bit more effort into it, into being, like, a pervert or a weirdo, we're not as good at, like, censoring that. So
What's
yeah, I
everyone's
think
favorite
they
Miiverse post?
the good water guy's the classic. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's so wholesome. Good water's really
I
good.
really like. It's very dark, but the screenshot of like Super Mario 3D World where they're like looking over the horizon, it's like my parents are arguing again. Always gets me.
Yeah. I Funky Barn was a really good one for a while. Funky Barn was great.
What's the couple, Nicole and Mitch or something like that whole saga?
I have no memory of that one now.
Can we
Oh.
just bring back the yeah button?
Exactly. So when Giant Bomb were doing their website redesign, I was talking to Chuck, who's their IT guy, about it a bit.
Chuck from Better Call Saul.
Totally, yeah, same guy.
It's Alan and Nicole. Alan and Nicole. That's it.
Yeah.
Google that.
And anyway, there were conversations had, and it wasn't like me putting this idea in his head. He had this idea, but I was way into it. Now on their forum and on their comment sections, it's Yan on yeah. They brought that back. They were like, if Nintendo are too cowardly to do Yan on yeah, we'll do Yan on yeah. Which, god damn it, Chuck, that's incredible. But yeah, we have one more question left, I think. So let's move on to that one.
Sorry, I was looking at the Miiverse Wikipedia. Apparently, the Mario movie has a Miiverse reference in it. Didn't catch that. What one is it? The Dispatch one?
Actually, we have two more questions.
questions
Yeah,
left,
we
yeah.
have the Dispatch one and we have the other one. Yeah.
Is anyone able to understand why the Tomodachi Life was Michael Beckwith. The Dispatch one is both Branford and Bobby. Is anyone able to understand why Dispatch was censored but not other games, lower age rating, or money? I think VGC cracked this. Like Chris Scullion.
Chris Scullion kind of did the legwork on this.
Seemingly, the reason Cyberpunk wasn't is because they released a version in Japan that was like a Japan-only version.
To give a bit more context, Dispatch is coming to Switch and Switch 2. That version will apparently censor certain scenes that had nudity in them in the other releases of that game. The reason this is seemingly being done is because they are releasing the same version in all regions. So if you buy it off the American eShop and you buy it off the British eShop and you buy it off the Japanese eShop, you're installing the same game, you're just changing the language. And because of that, it means that they all have to pass different rating boards' rating system. And Zero, the Japanese rating board, has much more strict guidelines when it comes to both nudity and dismemberment. Which is why sometimes certain games in Japan will get Japanese-only releases where they are versions with only the Japanese language track on the game and they have less dismemberment in them. This happens a lot with stuff like Resident Evil. It's happened with. In this case, it seems to be that they have gone, okay, if we submitted this version of the game to Zero, we would get a X rating from Zero, which basically means that store shelves wouldn't stock it, and the eShop might not stock it. Then they were like, okay, let's just censor it for all versions. Question then is why aren't Nintendo making a more viable way for the Dispatch developers to release 2 different SKUs? Like, if Cyberpunk could do it, surely Nintendo can step in and be like, hey, this was one of the biggest games of last year. We can help you figure out how to do a Japanese-only release. And I think it just comes down to Nintendo don't care.
I mean, it's not Cyberpunk big though. You know, I mean, it was popular, but again, it's not.
It's not that
like
level.
it's not a massive game.
It's not a system seller in the same way that a Cyberpunk portable version was a system seller at launch.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Nintendo is already a very thorny company to deal with. I can imagine a young upstart company like Ad Hoc hasn't been around for as long as CD Projekt Red has been around. They don't have the cachet. They don't have the sheer amount of people. Like, every person at Ad Hoc that you put on getting a deal done with Nintendo to have 2 separate SKUs is a person who would probably be working directly on the game. Whereas at CD Projekt Red, they employ like 400 people. They can afford to have 1 or 2 people not working on the game. They can have, you know, lawyers dedicated just to this stuff. So yeah, I think it is a resources thing. I think it sucks that Nintendo isn't like helping them out more. But it's not surprising.
I mean, I guess, but there's also the question of did they even want to or try, you know?
Yeah, that's the other question, is that they haven't commented on it other than saying like, we worked with Nintendo to make this version. I can't remember their exact phrasing, but basically like we worked with Nintendo in such a way that this would pass age verification.
It's a shame because I was waiting for the Switch 2 version, but I'm kind of like,
yeah, because like technically that should be a totally fine version of that game, because that game is just video files. They can output at 4K.
Isn't it on PS5 as well? Would there's not been an issue there too?
It's on PS5, but the PS5 store serves you different versions of games depending on your region.
Oh, so you can. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that's, you know, if you download a game off of the Japanese store and the Japanese version of the game only has a Japanese language track, you can't then, you know, play it in English. So it's a whole thing. It's the PlayStation. I've learned a bit about this when I was traveling in Japan, of like, if I buy this physical version of the game, will it come with an English language track? And so yeah, it's a game by game thing in a lot of cases. And it's hard to keep track of. But technically, the Japanese versions of games, like games that come out in Japan mainly, have the English language tracks, but they are still the Japanese versions. They just put the English language tracks in because like audio is so small now compared to the file size of a video game that it doesn't really matter. They can put in 13 different languages and they're like, yeah, sure, there might be a person who speaks Spanish living in Japan who wants to play this game, so it's, you know, it's not a big deal for them. Yeah. Okay, final question.
Bit of continuity quickly, because I've just remembered it was Bandai Namco Singapore that Nintendo just bought.
Yeah.
Which,
makers of Metroid Prime 4. A version of Metroid Prime 4.
Never confirmed, but it sure seems like that. This was from, I do not have the name, I'm very sorry, let me try and find it.
You read the question, I'll pull up the name.
Okay. The question is that with Dreamfield's new game returning to Ireland as a setting, what countries, places, cities do you think should be represented in games, and where would you like to visit? Apologies if that did not make sense. I am still dictating in the car.
I bet that was Owen Walker's then, even without checking.
That was 62, Mike.
Oh, that was Mikey. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first, since Irish stuff is already covered in the question, but I'll get onto that once you go first. Scott, I think I can guess where you'd like to see more games set.
It's not even that I want games set in Ireland or Scotland and all that, but I would like to see games tackle mythologies outside of Greek and Norse.
Yeah.
You know, I think.
And you see a little bit of it in like JRPGs.
I mean, there's the Banishers as well, which I
Yeah.
believe was kind of Celtic, but that is one thing I think that would be, you know, I would like to see more games based on those, because Persona does it quite well, but obviously they're not delving into the actual
lore of it, or the
Yeah.
story. It doesn't.
yeah.
Cuchulainn doesn't affect the story of Persona.
Yeah, but in terms of places I'd like to see a game set, I don't actually have too many. Like, I'm not one of these people who's like, they should make a GTA set in Scotland
Edinburgh.
because we're from there. That would be fucking boring.
Yeah.
I did like, I will say it is a very interesting feeling playing something like Forza Horizon 4, like driving through Edinburgh, because I've driven those exact streets before. There is a cool feeling with that, but it's never something where I've been like, oh, I wish there was more games set in Scotland, because it's like, you know, I do think, like, I think Hitman does stuff really well in terms
It
of
does like the
areas.
tourism thing really well. Of
But there's
it's good
also
at
things-
creating the vibe of a place.
Yeah, but there's also things with Hitman where I'm like, it's not even necessarily like countries or places. It's more like events and things.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see like that F1 level in Hitman's really good.
Yeah.
I think I want to say this was a giant bomb pitch years ago, but like a wrestling event.
Yeah. I think one of their
Level
ones was
Hitman would
also
be
like
great.
set a level at E3.
Yeah, something like that, like convention,
Which
content,
also-
like, stuff like that. I think is really interesting. That
If
could
they
be
make a new
done.
Dead Rising, they should set the new Dead Rising at an E3. Like that should be that game, right?
I like
the
the
Game
idea of
Awards.
is that a cruise ship they're talking about? The next one's going to be.
That would be fun too. Yeah.
I have got an appreciation for like these kind of cramped, I guess is the best word, areas, like you know, it's not
Confined,
an open world, but
yeah.
it kind of is, yeah. What about Henry? Would you like to see a game set in a hair transplant clinic?
Very funny.
What the
Hilarious.
fuck?
Oh my
Totally
God.
out of pocket. Absolute strays being fired.
Everything Scott says to me is out of
Hitman's
pocket, let's
Henry
be
Stockdale.
honest.
It would actually, now that you say it, a Hitman level where he gets a hair transplant would be really funny. Where he goes to Turkey and that's like part of him blending in, is getting a hair transplant.
Which the tools for the person getting their teeth done.
He gets one of those
I-
fucking weird leg extension surgeries, and he's like, my legs, they hurt so much. I'm now 6'9".
I don't actually have a particular place in mind here. I could joke and say, I don't know, let's set a game in Jason's house or something. Maybe that could be interesting. But yeah, I don't. There's not like a dream location I would like to see
wait a
in
minute.
a video game.
Dream location, I've just figured it out. Elder Scrolls 6, Stoke-on-Trent.
Yes, yes. You know what? Fine. I changed my mind immediately.
Robbie Williams is a companion, and
I back out of this immediately.
a second person from Stoke-on-Trent can be in there too, because everyone knows
Man,
more
he's
than one
really
person from
desperate to break into
Stoke-on-Trent.
the American market still, fuck.
There's
That
only
monkey
one person
movie
at
was
Stoke on
good.
Trent.
That monkey movie I really liked, surprisingly so.
Earliest reviews was We Sing Robbie Williams.
Robbie Williams
Nice.
has some bangers.
Oh, that was
If Robbie Williams was not charging like £200 for a fucking Barrowland ballroom show, I may have went to the Robbie Williams Barrowland ballroom show, but I'm not paying fucking £200 to see him.
Scott, this is the second time I'm going to say it in this episode. Couldn't have ever gotten me to admit that on mic.
He's got some good songs.
I
I'm
know.
not ashamed of it.
Listen, everyone loves one or two Robbie Williams songs when it's like
Rock
4
DJs,
hours into a
a
wedding
banger.
and everyone's drunk. Everyone loves it, but we don't go around talking about it, Scott.
I
we
also
don't.
let's just fucking lay it all out. I think James Blunt's first album is really good. That's another one of mine.
I'm actually going to agree with that.
Guys,
it's a really good album,
guys,
right?
I think Scott is British.
I mean,
He's coming across more English than me at the moment.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
what is English about liking James Blunt? Use all skewered the poor boy.
No, it's the cascade of opinions you've given them.
Yeah.
Speaking of 2007 music, how we feeling about Mika? Another banger debut album.
Anyway, because I think this
Jason.
question was like
Jason's
focused at
turn.
me. Oh yeah, it's Jason's turn. Jason.
I have no opinions. Lexi, what do you think about Stuff in Ireland?
Yeah, I'm gonna be careful here. That game that Dreamfield announced, Bog Bodies, is very, very exciting. I really look forward to it. Take all my feelings with it with a grain of salt, because I'm very good friends with some of the people working on that game, same as Tolt and the Enigma Studio folks. But having been to some Irish games events very recently, I was at a Imish event last week. The stuff that they're doing in and around the games industry to try to see more projects across the line and to make the industry like long-term healthy is really exciting to me. And I do think we're going to see like more games set in and around Ireland with Irish themes. I think that like those games can work. I think Seance of Blake Manor is a great example of a game that like is extremely Irish, is kind of like a large part of that game working is because of its setting and because of what its setting allows that story to be and the stories it can tell within it. And yeah, I think we're going to see more stuff like that. And if you haven't checked out the Seance of Blake Manor, check it out, because that was like the most recent Irish video game that came out, and it's pretty cool.
They should set a Yakuza 7 style RPG in
Limerick.
Charles. Oh, I'll tell you what they should do. They should make a Fatal Deviation video game.
Yes.
Please tell me you've seen.
Yes. They should make a Fatal...
Right?
Or get OGG on that. They can drop this fucking Virtua Fighter stuff. Get them on a Fatal Deviation. Yeah.
Scanned into that engine right now. Fatal Deviation, Jimmy Bennett.
I can tell that neither of you have ever heard of Fatal Deviation, so like just do me a favor.
Ireland's first kung fu film.
Yeah, first and only kung fu film.
Features Mikey from Boyzone.
It is so good. Everything about it is incredible.
The direct fights at the Trim Aerodrome.
The really funny thing about that is that guy's now like a really well-respected stunt coordinator.
Yeah, probably.
Because like, of course, he's actually just a very good...
There's a fucking moment in that film, like, where just, like, two fucking Jake balls just bam up a Londis, but they're, like, it's, like, teenagers fucking about in a shop, but they're, like, 40, and it's in the middle of, I think it's a Londis, maybe, or something like that. It's, honestly, so incredible.
I'm just reading the wiki article. Like the film was panned by critics, and many have considered this to be one of the worst films ever made. It went
hey, that's my culture.
Release.
Okay,
I don't think kung fu is your culture.
No, this is my culture.
We need to take the guy in the Umbro top from Fatal Deviation.
Bored Irish lads in a field thinking that they can do karate is in fact my culture.
Sorry, hang on. A sequel was announced.
Damn
nice.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah,
Any day now.
They should make a Fatal Deviation game. If you look in the podcast channel, this is going to be this character from Fatal Deviation is going to be our thumbnail this time.
No. I might make it a Fatal Deviation character. I'm not making it that one. That's horrifying. That guy looks like he's going to call me a slur walking down the street. Listen, I think that is a podcast. So we're gonna call it there. I'm not sure if any of you want to like highlight your social medias or anything. Do ye? Yeah, that's the enthusiastic response I was looking for.
ScottMcRae.com on Blue Sky. I have sort of tried to stop posting there a lot more recently because I just don't quite like social media, to be honest.
I'm probably the only person here who posts frequently, so yeah.
It's a big shame that as I started to want to get away from social media, I got a job that requires me. I still need to have a Twitter account because you can't look at tweets without having a fucking account. It's a nightmare.
I could say I'm on a posters strike, but let's face it, that will never last.
Yeah.
You can find me on Blue Sky, henrystockdale.com. I'm not really anywhere else active. Yeah.
Jason,
fine,
where can people not see you post?
I'm also on Blue Sky, but I don't post there. I do stuff on YouTube, but you don't.
Yeah,
have to
dude,
watch that.
your
It's much.
YouTube's great. As someone who has always wanted to get into D&D, I'm like, there is a way to do this. And then I think about actually getting into D&D again. I'm like, oh, it's so much work.
Get into
It's so much
Warhammer
work.
instead.
You're right. That's a much cheaper hobby too. And you can find me on Blue Sky at lexluddy.xyz. And that's going to do us for this month. We'll be back at you relatively same time next month, probably around the end of the month.
But
But
there's no February 29th this year, so you fucking lied.
you're right. I
Told a
did
lie.
totally just lie. I just told a big old fucking lie. And we're going to call it there for now. Talk to you next time. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.